West with the Home Run team.
And I'm Christy Dupuy with Expressive Tile and Stone.
So tell us about yourself and about your business.
I actually started in construction industry when I was like 19. And then when I had my daughter, I went to school at the Art Institute and I got my degree in interior design. Then after that, I worked at a tile showroom in Houston, very beautiful place. And I just really fell in love with tile. And it was always like just something that was really neat to me because you could put different tiles together, and I don't know, I was just super excited about it. But the drive was kind of a killer. Yeah, I lived here in Conroe and drove to Houston, so that was pretty bad. So I started using my design degree, and I would help contractors with their clients, helping them pick out tile, plumbing fixtures, lighting fixtures, and that sort of thing. And then I eventually opened my own remodeling company, and that did really well, and we still have that going, but I wanted to kind of gear more towards the client side and how I could help the clients, and so I decided that I wanted to get back into tile, and so I just went for it.
Your showroom is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It's cool to hear a local story about somebody, especially not having to commute down to Houston.
Right.
And bringing your business here, so that's awesome.
And that's part of it, is like we're trying to make it so that designers and contractors and even retail customers will have those options that you can find in Houston, because a lot of times that's where a lot of the more unique and higher end stuff is. But you still have those options here in Montgomery County, without having to drive into Houston.
Tell us a little bit about what makes your business special or different. I know a lot of people think they can just go to Lowe's or something and get a tile, but tell us about what makes your company special.
We're a little different because we do have in-house interior designers. We not only help you pick everything out, but we will actually take your floor plans and kind of put together little mock scenarios of how that tile is going to look in your house. And then we also work with a lot of custom vendors where we can do a picture of you and send it in, and they can create a mosaic. We have some where you can change the colors, you can change the patterns, and so we will help our clients, do all of that. And then again, we have more unique selections than what you can find at, like Lowe's or Home Depot. We go to tile shows in Vegas and Dallas and all over the country so that we can find those unique vendors that you can't necessarily find everywhere.
When I was here before, I actually got to meet one of the tile makers, which I thought was so cool. So it's really neat that you have that relationship with your vendors. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the trends you're seeing right now.
And one trend that's been for a while is a wood look tile. Everybody loves a wood look tile. It's got a lot more durability than like a hardwood floor would have. So if you have pets or kids, it's really good for that. But the technology has changed so that those trends are now to the point where you almost can't even tell that it's a tile versus a wood product. I think the trend is kind of going away from the gray tones a little bit. I know that's been really popular lately.
That too in new construction.
So I'm more of like a mid-tone brown is kind of where I see a lot of those going. This wood look tile has a little bit of this black here, but in the light, it actually catches the light a little bit. If you had an old wood floor and you kind of like got all that varnish off, in the cracks you would still have that varnish kind of settled in, and so that's kind of replicating that. And then they also have this selection, which is actually, it's kind of like showing the bark of a tree. And these are kind of those tones that we're really seeing right now, where people are kind of going with that mid brown tone. And if you want to put gray walls and furniture and stuff like that, this still marries really well with gray, but it doesn't get you kind of stuck in that gray trend. Yes. The pattern tiles are really popular now. A lot of people are using those in fun spaces like secondary bathrooms and powder bathrooms or laundry rooms, just to kind of add some extra like pattern and color to spaces. And then the handmade stuff is really popular. Even we have tiles here that even have that handmade look, but they're not necessarily handmade. And then we have a true handmade tile. And those tiles are wildly popular right now. It is a hand painted tile. They have tons of different patterns you can choose from, and you can change the colors on them as you want to as well. It is a terracotta tile. They are a little bit thicker than a typical tile is too. But what's good about a handmade tile like this is you're gonna see variations from one tile to the next. And even if, you know, I have a client that orders these and then, you know, a week later, a different client orders a different batch, those two batches are not going to look the same. So even if you still have the same colors, the same everything, you're still going to get some different patterns in them. This kind of falls in that handmade and pattern tile collection. So it's a little bit of both. And I mean, just the colors and stuff that they have in these are really beautiful.
Is there anything that you think consumers should know about tile, installation, the industry, stuff like that?
Sure. So one thing is quality. Quality really does matter. I know it's difficult to understand because you're looking at it like a porcelain tile, and so it's hard to determine which one is better than the other. But we've had issues before in the construction industry where, you know, the client may have purchased a lower end porcelain tile and it flakes, or it's not a like full body porcelain tile, and so it chips really easily, and then you're seeing like a gray or a white color behind it. So these are a porcelain tile. They're what we call a large format tile. They're 2 feet by 4 feet. What's really good about these is they're actually what we call a rectified tile, which means it is perfect rectangle, which is really good when your installer is trying to lay tile. If they're trying to make a grout joint and this is an 1/8 of an inch off from top to bottom, that's really going to make a difference. So it's something as a customer or a client, you should, you know, ask if they have true rectified tiles, because that you may save money on the tile if it's not, but then you're going to pay more in installation. And then also thinking about patterns, and when I say patterns, it's really only in something that's supposed to replicate something natural. There's going to be what's called a repeat, and so every so many tiles is going to look exactly the same. So if you go to a lower end tile, a lot of times they're only going to have 3 different tiles, and if you're doing your entire floor, you're going to start seeing like, oh, there's the same tile, you know, over and over. So it's something to pay attention to, or ask, you know, where you're buying your tile from, is like, what is the repeat on this? Because most of our tiles have like either like between a 7 and a 13 tile repeat, which is really impressive to have that, because once you start mixing in, if you got 7 different tiles, it's going to be really difficult to spot the same ones over and over again. So those are just some things. And also making sure your installer is, you know, knows what they're doing, because I've seen so much beautiful tile get ruined by a really poor installer. So we do installation here as well, and we have fabulous installers that really just take care of those details.
Are there any events or anything for the public that you have coming up that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so we actually have what we're calling our showroom showcase, and it's open to the public, so everyone is invited. That's July 19th through the 23rd. We're actually open from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then on that Saturday, which we're typically not open on Saturdays, we'll be open from 10 to 1. And we're just gonna have, you know, some refreshments every day, door prizes, some giveaways. But the big thing is that we're going to give away a $750 gift certificate for a tile for here in the store. So yeah, it's a great thing if you're a consumer or a, you know, contractor or whatever, and you're looking for tile, or you have a client looking for tile. It's the best time to come in, because you might get a little extra discount.
That's amazing.
Yeah. ExpressiveTileandStone.com is our website, and then you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Expressive Tile and Stone, or you can come see us. We're at 1506 FM 2854 in Conroe, and our phone number is 936-494-0275.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to show us and tell us about everything. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.